All right, if you have not really taken, advanced math classes, this is going to sound a lot like gibberish. And I don't think you're going to like that my strategy here is simply to follow instructions. Because you're probably like, instructions? How am I supposed to follow instructions that I don't understand? Well, I get that. But clearly here we're working with function notation, right? F of x, g of x. That is essential for the SAT. It's pretty standard Algebra 2 level stuff. And it's not really that hard. It looks different, but if you had learned function notation before you learned y equals, then the y equals would be weird to you. So function notation is just a way of expressing the same math that you've always known using different notation, different ways of presenting it. So you can't be intimidated by it. You just got to get used to it. So what does it mean? Okay, so the complete graph of the function f and a table of values for the function g are shown above. Duh. This is a good example of like, we know what's going on. We don't need the sentence. The maximum value of f is k. What is the value of g of k? So take it one piece at a time. The maximum value of f is k. So what is the maximum of f? So that's the graph. What's the maximum? Looks like it's right here. Right? So the maximum is 3. Right? Look. The highest it goes is 3. What is the value of g of k? And so if k is 3, then g of k means we're doing g of 3. And so if we know what function notation means, what we're doing is we see that 3 is in place of the x. So we should see what happens when the x is 3. So when the x is 3, right here, we have this value of g of x, which is kind of like the y value of 6. So 6. And that's the answer. So if you're comfortable with function notation, this is really easy. Because you're, like I said, you're following instructions. Everything they're telling you to do is perfectly logical. Look at a certain point in a graph, get the y coordinate, take the y coordinate, plug it in for x in the other one in the table, and then get that y coordinate. That's all it is. It's just we've decided not to call them y coordinates. We've called them f and we've called them g. And in a nutshell, the reason that we do this is because it would be very difficult to distinguish between the graph and the chart if they were both called y. So function notation is really just a way of naming graphs and naming equations so that we can more easily tell what we want. So in this case, it's very clear to us that we're supposed to go to the graph first because the graph is named f. And then we go to the chart second because the chart is named g. And that's all it is. So you got to get used to that. This is going to come up on the SAT. Most of the time when we deal with function notation on the SAT, it is just a matter of knowing how to read it, how to follow the instructions that they're giving you and take the number and put it in for the right spot, either x or y. And that's easy points. You can definitely practice this on Khan Academy. It is something that is important for math in general, so it's something you should really learn if you haven't yet. Try to get comfortable with it, because then a lot of math just looks a lot easier and becomes a lot easier. So take that time. I think it'll pay off.